It's time for another Pac-12 and Mountain West lawsuit update. Conference realignment and lawsuits are always in the news, so we're back on the Big Mountain to bring you an update with the PAC and the Mountain West. Hey, JY here for another update here, just a brief one, as there have been some filings in the court case in the federal district court in California. On November 18th, there was a case management order. This is where Judge Van Keulen issued the following schedule. So the fact discovery close will happen on September 11th, 2026. The expert witness discovery closure will be December 4th, 2026. Yes, that's a year from now when we're talking about closing discovery. And then a trial date was set for July 6th, 2027. Yes, 18 months from now, if we ever get there. The last update we did, we talked about both the PAC and the Mountain West requesting certain dates here. The PAC had requested a May 2027 trial, where the Mountain West requested a February 28 trial. The judge, of course, splitting the difference here a little bit closer, obviously, to the PAC date, but we're talking mid 2027 if, again, we get to that point. On December 5th, the PAC filed a motion to dismiss some of the Mountain West counterclaims. In our last update, we went through all 5 of those counterclaims, and the PAC here is requesting dismissal of 3 of those 5. The first claim they're asking to dismiss is the claim for promissory fraud. The PAC states that the Mountain West failed to state a claim and that the fraud claim is based on, quote, information and belief, unquote, rather than allegations of contemporaneous statements or actions. Also, the PAC states that the promissory fraud claim is barred by the economic loss rule, which limits tort recovery for what is fundamentally a contract dispute. Lastly, the filing states that the Mountain West fails to allege the conduct constituting fraud. They state that the allegations are vague and unspecified, and the lack of specificity is fatal. The second count that the PAC is requesting to be dismissed is the claim for tortious interference with contractual relations. For their reasoning, the PAC states that the Mountain West claim is based on, quote, at-will contracts, unquote, and the Mountain West did not allege an independently wrongful act. The third count for dismissal is the Mountain West failed to state a claim for the unjust enrichment or quasi-contract. As a reminder, they here only brought this as an alternative claim, did the Mountain West, and not as a specific claim for all the other counts. So this was an alternative claim that the Mountain West had brought up in their countersuit. As a reminder, the first 2 claims within the counterclaims that were not requested to be dismissed were the declaration that these fees are enforceable, and then the second claim, which was a breach of contract. So 3 of the 5, the PAC is requesting dismissal. On December 9th, there were several stipulated orders surrounding discovery and the confidentiality of documents, how these documents for discovery are supposed to come to the court and the lawyers and whatnot. Right now, the Mountain West has until January 16th, so about a month from now, to file an opposition to the PAC's motion to dismiss. So they can come back kind of with their response to this dismissal, and that'll be what happens next. Likely won't hear a ruling on these motions to dismiss until February or March. Yes, that's how slowly these court processes can take. So with that is the update. Nothing real major outside of, the dismissal claims that or counts that the PAC is bringing forth, as we talked about with the Mountain West. Motions to dismiss are very difficult to win. And I would, of course, say probably very difficult for any of this to be dismissed by the courts. But we're going to go through those motions anyway. So with that, maybe the biggest news is the judges saying a July 2027 trial date. Again, about 18 months from now. A lot can happen between now and then. I, for one, hope a settlement occurs far before July of 2027, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. Hey, thank you guys for watching. We'll bring you updates as there's some things to talk about with these cases. Of course, the other case, the exit fee case, between 3 of the departing schools in the Mountain West does not have these types of public disclosures like they have in this federal court in California. The last that I saw that there was a motion to dismiss that case as well, that being brought by the Mountain West. I haven't seen or heard anything more on that, and if it has been dismissed or been denied. I'm sure if it was dismissed, we would have heard about it. But I'm not even sure if a ruling has occurred yet on that. So, we'll try to keep up to date on that as we can, just a lot harder to find information. With that, hey, smash the like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you next time on The Big Mountain.